Guys, I think I actually hit all of my January goals. I don't know, I have to check, but like from what I can remember, I think I hit my goals. It's my favorite time of the month. It is time for a monthly reset. I think if you look at my page, you clearly can see I love a good reset. I love just like getting my life back on track. I love a routine. I love wellness. I love productivity. If you were subscribed, you know this. It's like my whole thing. So having a real excuse to do a reset is always my favorite. And I love like checking up on my monthly and yearly goals. Time to get into our February reset, second month of the year already. I do feel like it's going by fast, but I also feel like so far this year, I am the most motivated and honestly happiest I've been in a long time. I feel like I'm staying on track. I've been saying in vlogs, if you've been keeping up, if you know me, you've seen this. If not, hi, my name's Gina. You can, you know, like and subscribe down below if you want after this video. Anyway, if you like have seen my face on the internet before, you've probably heard me say that like I am not only on schedule, I am like so far ahead of my schedule. It's phenomenal. I've been feeling phenomenal. I feel like so far this year in January, I really have cracked my code. The code that works for me to be the most productive I can be, the wellness code, the code to just like living a fulfilling life while we're still hitting our goals. So if you're new here and you want to see more of that, you might as well stick around and follow along because I feel like that's been a common theme so far this year. Anyway, let's not delay. Let's get into our February reset. The first thing I always do, you guys know, is go ahead and take a look at my goals for the past month. So January goals, I will say I didn't get the chance to make this look super cute. So like I'll show you guys what I do with my January goals. Like don't worry, February's is much more aesthetic. I already did February's. I have a solid monthly goal tracker for February. At least January, she's looking a little sparse here. If you saw my January reset that I did at the beginning of this month, you know that I hadn't even set this page up yet, so this is like a work in progress. Honestly, each month might be a work in progress till like summer, but so far February actually like gives like something cute, actually aesthetic, actually motivating. Let's talk about my January goals and mark the ones off that we can mark off. Before I do this, I want to mention that all of my monthly goals reflect directly back onto my yearly goals. I did like a whole yearly goal journal where I show you how I'm setting up my life, the routines and systems and everything in one journal to hit my 2026 goals. It's like super important to me that I'm hitting these goals this year. I turned 25 last year. Like I'm really like in this weird middle stage of my life right now where like I feel like my adult life is like actually getting started. Like I'm officially out of college, officially out of the whole like I don't know what I'm doing with my life phase. Like I have like an idea of what to do now. So all of my monthly goals directly relate back to a quarterly goal. Every quarterly goal is just one of my yearly goals. So I broke down my yearly goals by quarter. Then I went through and made monthly goals for each quarter of the year based off of those yearly goals. All of these monthly goals are smaller subsets of my yearly goals. Is it super important that you know my yearly goals? Not really, you'll like figure them out, but if you want to see like a more in-depth, you can watch that video after this one. For health, our first goal in January was meal plan every single day. I did do this so far. I am filming this on the 19th. I need to make sure I have time to edit it. So like I still technically have a week of the month left. But so far, out of the 3 weeks, I'm gonna mark this off. I've been like really good about meal planning. It doesn't necessarily mean I have been really like meal prepping. Like I haven't meal prepped every single one of my meals, but I at least like know every day about what I'm going to eat later on in that day. I know if I'm going out, I know if maybe like my boyfriend's cooking, I know if I'm cooking at home, I know if my grandma's cooking, like we have a whole thing here. So I will say I've been doing this. I then have track my meals and calories, which I haven't been tracking my calories, but I am gonna mark this down because I am tracking my meals. You guys will see I have a whole meal journal. I will also preface this with I am trying to gain weight. So I just want to like preface that when I say track my meals and calories, it's not to eat less, it's to eat more. And I have one whole meal a day. This doesn't mean like a whole meal, it means like whole foods. So one meal that is like exclusively whole foods a day. I have also been pretty good about this, and I have like a tracker up here. We then have my wellness goals. So if you scroll down, you see my wellness goals here. I have block TikTok for 5 opens a day for 15 minutes each. I have an app that does this for me, so I can only open the app 5 times a day, and I can only open it for 15 minutes each time. Every once in a while, I have unblocked it only to make sure I have time to like film, edit, and post videos. I've been pretty good with doom scrolling. I'm not gonna say I've cut it out completely. That is my big yearly goal, cut out doom scrolling completely. I was not expecting to just get like super good at it in January because it has been a struggle for sure. But I have had a much healthier relationship with scrolling, something that I haven't been able to actually achieve or accomplish, because you've probably seen me like stop doom scrolling in every single one of these monthly reset videos for the past like 6 months. I've been very good at it, but that is why I like made sure to make that my big goal and set up like smaller habits that help me not doom scroll, and this was one of them. Only one of the habits I've set up. I've been trying to do other things like, you know, almost like diversifying my time and stuff, but honestly I feel like I've been good at it this month. There have been like 2 days that I can think of in particular that was just like a doom scrolling day for both days, whatever reason. I have not had like those super long doom scrolling sessions. I've really been good about setting systems up and setting up habits and, you know, reflecting on like how it makes me feel, reminding myself how it makes me feel, and I've been good about not doom scrolling. So there is gonna be like a whole kind of thing on my channel, like small series, if you will, relating directly back to my stopping doom scrolling goal. So don't worry, I'll get into this in other videos, but I am going to mark that off because I've been pretty good about it. The only time I've unblocked it and been on the app longer is, like I said, when I'm filming and editing videos. And then I have start one new hobby, which I have done. I started journaling, so I'm like very happy about this. I have a yearly goal of trying at least 3 new hobbies. This goes into 2 of my goals. One is invest in myself pretty much and live intentionally. That's like not a quantifiable goal, so this is one of the ways I've made it quantifiable, is like by, you know, tracking the hobbies that I'm starting. But I would also say this helps me not doom scroll because I have been journaling anytime I have thought about doom scrolling. It's been phenomenal. So once again, that'll kind of go into that little series I'm talking about that'll be on my channel. I'm super excited for it. We're gonna do like a whole how to not doom scroll, how to have hobbies kind of thing over here starting in February. So hope to see you all there. My career I am using as kind of an outlet for both YouTube content creation, and I am getting my teaching credential. Both of those things go into career for me. The first one is stay 3 videos ahead from my YouTube. I have done this. I've been so good and so on top of my editing. I've not had like a single video that I've like been editing last minute this month. I have felt like phenomenal. It's helped me keep my posting schedule up, which is a big yearly goal of mine. I want to post every Wednesday and Sunday. Like that is really important to me. I have so many good ideas that I like, if I miss an upload, like I miss a whole video, like a whole video idea that I could have done, but now I don't have time to do, you know, like, so I've been making sure that I am 3 videos ahead all the time. I have 3 videos pretty much always scheduled, ready to go. So I'm editing like 1 to 2 videos a week, or I have like a whole week where I'm just like editing a video every night. Boom, I have like my videos for the month up. Obviously there are some videos that I cannot schedule out until like a week before they go out. This is a good example. This video is literally, I think, going up like almost a week from today exactly. Or like vlogs that I film, I can't really do that, but because I have my other videos scheduled out, it makes like editing them super easy, and I can still get them up and scheduled like a week to 3 days before they're like ready to go. It's been a great system. I then have reached out to 5 brands, which I've actually reached out to more than that. I was tracking them. I'm actually creating like a brand tracker today, like a more solid one than I have now, so I can like track them fully. But I would say so far this month I've reached out to like 20. I've gotten some PR already. I've gotten some exciting opportunities, so I've been feeling good. I've replied to every comment, which I've been doing. If I don't reply, I'll usually just heart it. That's just because like it's a sweet comment that I have like nothing to say to, or it's like I don't have time and I'm just going through and hearting, but I try to reply to every comment. And for career, I have analyzed my most popular videos to plan for February, which I have done already. So I'm marking that off too. Guys, I'm like looking at this. This is the most consistent month. I really think I've hit all my goals this month. I have learned 1 new editing trick, which I did do. Improve my bio for all videos, which I have been doing because I've been staying on track, staying ahead. Financial, I have saved $200 for loan payoff, which I technically haven't done yet, but when I get paid, yes. And same for Save for Vegas, $100 for Vegas. Guys, I hit all of my January goals. This is what I mean. I made it a huge goal of mine to go through my yearly goals and break them down into smaller subsets to like keep me on track for my yearly goals and keep me on track every month. And it has been not only so motivating, but such an amazing system because like, yeah, I have a lot of goals, but they're not overwhelming. They're little things I can do every day. I've been really good with my daily habits, and I just actually made a video about that. I'm not trying to plug myself, but if you want to see like my daily habits and how I incorporate them every day, because I have like a lot of daily non-negotiables that have helped me hit my goals and could help you hit your goals. Truly, like the systems I've been setting up this year have been so unlike other years in the past. I did not feel great in 2025, which I think is like something that we can all relate to. But 2026, like I already feel like a year of the horse. It's already picking up. We're already going. We're like hitting our goals full speed ahead. I am so thrilled. I am so excited to be able to hit my goals the way I've been hitting them. And now I want to go through and look at my yearly goals. I know it's only been 1 month of the year, but I want to stay on track with my yearly goals. And the only way to do that is by like checking up on them. I know people will do videos where they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't looked at my yearly goals all year. That was me last year. Like I like barely looked at them. I would say I looked at them like once every 4 to 5 months. Because my monthly goals are relating directly back to my yearly goals, I am being very, very strict with them. So I want to just go through my yearly goals with you guys and track them together so we can kind of see, one, to motivate you guys to look at your yearly goals and see like, yeah, it's only been 1 month, but that's 1/12 of the way done. Like we only have 11 more months. If we want to hit our yearly goals, we need to be tracking it every single month, you know? So let's take a look at our yearly goals and see what we can track. I do have gained 5 pounds. I will say I have not weighed myself, so I can't really say. I do have hit my subscriber goal. I'm keeping my subscriber goal private, but I am gonna track it each month to see how many subscribers we are at. Stop doom scrolling. I'm going to put in progress. This is something that's kind of hard to track. I do have like hobbies here. I'm gonna add more to this. I have painted a picture frame and I have started journaling. I need to add way more hobbies to that, and I shall. I did keep my follower goal on TikTok, because when I set this goal, I was at like 2,000 followers. I gained 6,000 followers in a month. Don't ask me how, I don't know. I do think there is sort of luck of the draw with TikTok. I do have a plan, and I do think you can create solid content plans. But basically what ended up happening for me is I had like 3 videos do really well at the end, like the week before Christmas. Then I had a video on Christmas. It's my most watched video on TikTok, get like 2 million views. And then that video was like a silly fun video, but it related directly back to like what I talk about on my TikTok. And because like the silly fun video blew up, people went to my page, saw that I talk about that thing that I was talking about, planners, journals, productivity, stuff like that. So as you can see, on the 1st of January, I had grown 4,000 followers in a week. Crazy. It's only January 19th, so I will update this on February 1st. In my March reset, you will see like the actual number it was. Right now, I'm at 7,966. I'm assuming I'll be about like 8,200, maybe more by the beginning of February. So I think I'm gonna hit this goal in Q1, even though it was a goal that I wasn't gonna focus on until like Q3, which is crazy. If you have followed me from TikTok, if you know me from TikTok, thank you so much. If you wanna follow me on TikTok and help me reach that goal, it's always linked down below. It's like the same as this channel. I talk about just kind of like monologue productivity stuff at you guys, and people seem to like my monologuing videos. I've always been told I talk a lot, so it's really nice to like, you know, make something nice out of that comment. Let's move on to my February goals. This is my February goals. As you can see, I actually made this look cute. I am still kind of completing my February vision board. I'm not like super thinking about my February vision quite yet. This will be more towards the end of the month, but this is all just from like my February mood board, my February vision board. This is what I wanted January to look like, and I just never got around to doing it. I should have had time. I just, for whatever reason, kept like putting it off and didn't think about it. I'm like feeling good about my February goals. I also think this looks so cute. I can add to it if I want to, but as of right now, this is like all the goals that relate directly back to those yearly goals again. Some of these are similar from January because once again, I based these off my Q1 goals, and my Q1 goals were just like the yearly goals I'm focusing on in January, February, March. So the start of the quarter is always like when I'm gonna go the hardest to set those systems up of like productivity, wellness, and like making sure like each of those goals has like a habit related to it. And every other month from there, like you can kind of like go less and less, because hopefully by the end of the quarter, you are are, you know, not necessarily hitting the whole yearly goal, but getting close to hitting it, getting close to focusing on it for the year and being able to cross it off. So for my February goals, I have try one new recipe. I am really trying to get better at cooking because this will help me gain weight. It'll help me save some money because I'm trying to do like a relatively low no buy year. I want to invest more time in travel and paying off my debt this year than I want to in anything else, if I'm being honest. Any clothes, books, other things that are like non-essentials or investing in the two things I just mentioned are more like things that I'm only gonna buy like one of at a time. Like if I need a new pair of jeans, I'm not gonna be like, no, you can't buy a new pair of jeans, no buy year. I've already broken my book buying ban. Don't look at me like that, I know. I'm not gonna deny myself if I'm out with my friends and we like might wanna go shopping. I just don't wanna do any like gigantic shopping sprees or like gigantic like, oh, I'm going to the store and buying everything that I want. Trying new recipes will just help kind of like add to my repertoire. I wanna learn how to cook. This is always like a goal of mine, is get better at cooking. I think it's okay to say like, I do have an idea of how to cook. Like I can make a steak and that's what you need, you know? I can make a steak, I can make a salmon. It's not like I don't know how to cook fully. I'm just like not the best at it, so I wanna get better. I then once again have the same goal for February that I had for January, which was block TikTok to 5 opens for 15 minutes each per open. I think I'm gonna be able to do this. I think if anything, I'm gonna get better at this. You'll see because I've already kind of set like most of these goals already. Throughout the year, this like timer gets less and less to the point where I'm like only allowed to open it for like 5 minutes at a time unless I'm like filming or editing or posting. I want to learn another new editing trick, so anything you see, hopefully I have like new tricks in there. I want to start asking questions in my comment section, so like when you open the comments, there'll just be a question that I've already asked just to like, you know, like help with the conversation, engage conversation more. In fact, go ahead and look down below. This is a January video. I know it's going out in January, but maybe I've started this. If I haven't, someone yell at me and say, Gina, ask a question. I have no boring outfits. I want to make sure I am, you know, feeling cute, dressing cute. I wouldn't even consider this like a boring outfit. Is it my favorite outfit ever? No, but I'm on my period, so I'm letting it go. That goes into my living intentionally goal. I really want to make sure I'm living more intentionally this year. Film or take pictures every single day. This will help with living intentionally. This will help with social media goals, whether that is YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I actually have not been focusing on my Instagram. I do have an Instagram. If you want to follow it, you can, like down below. I have save another $100 for Vegas. I am going to have like a full paycheck once I get to Vegas. Like it's not something I'm worried about, but like the more I can save, like even just a little bit, like my meals already, at least for like 3 nights. I have saved $500 for a loan. Hopefully I can save a little bit more than that, but like that is okay with me. That like hits my goal. And then I have start a new YouTube series, which I will be doing, kind of the series I was hinting at. So I already know like that one, I think I'll be able to mark that off. I think I'll be able to mark it off. A fun videos coming for February. Videos I'm very excited for. Those are my February goals. All of them relate directly back to some of my yearly goals. I am feeling very optimistic about February. I've been honestly feeling very optimistic about this year. Like this year just feels so good. Today, even right now, I'm filming this and it's a bright, beautiful blue sky out. Everything feels good. Everything feels happy. I've been feeling like amazing lately. Let's get into my February TBR. I'm gonna go through these quickly because like I said, I'm not gonna stop talking about books on my channel completely. This is how I have been really like mitigating doom scrolling. So we're gonna talk about that more once again in the hobby video and the doom scrolling video. Like I have a lot coming out in that little like series that I'm gonna do next month. This has been like just one of the things I'm doing, one of the hobbies I've been really invested into. It's been a hobby I've loved forever. You guys know. First of all, I've been like super into my Kindle. I actually have 5 books here and 3 out of 5 of them I just have on my Kindle. Like they're all Kindle Unlimited. I don't have them physically. I'm trying to get better about like if the book's on Kindle Unlimited, reading it there first before I buy it so I don't have a bunch of books on my shelf that I don't like. First book is The Rose Bargain. I've just heard really good things. I love a YA fantasy specifically because I just find that I can personally focus on them more, but I've just heard phenomenal things. I've not seen a single person give this book under a 5 star. The next book I do have physically because I found a physical copy and screamed. I don't know how I got so lucky. I happened to go into a local bookstore the day they restocked it. It had been out of stock for literally weeks. I feel like you guys might know what it is. I did binge watch the show. I'm very excited to get into this book. Yeah, Heated Rivalry. I'm reading Heated Rivalry next month. Perfect. Valentine's Day romance. I'm so excited. The next one is a nonfiction, and I'm like not one for like self-help books. I don't know if I'd count this as a self-help book though. It's called Outsmart Reality. I'm like big on spirituality and manifestation. It's like a manifesting book, but I've heard like really good things about it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I might not even finish it this month. I might just like read it casually, like read a chapter a day until I'm done with it, but I at least want to start it in February. I then have a reread, but it's something I haven't reread in a while, and I wanted to reread it last year and I never got around to it, so I really want to make sure I do it this year. This is a book where around this time every year, I think because the show came out in March, another book with the show, oh my god. I think because the show came out in March of 2023, I always want to reread this book around this time in the year. Like I always want to reread it in like February and March. I start getting back into that like mindset. This is a book where I think the show was just as good as the book. I think they were very equally yoked, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six. This is one of my favorite books of all time, so I really want to reread this. It is written as if you are watching, or I guess reading, a documentary, like a news documentary on them. If you have not watched the show, watch the show. If you have not read the book, I highly recommend. One of my favorite books of all time, so I'm very excited to get into this reread. Last book, once again, I have on my Kindle. This is one that I would be willing to purchase because it's the second book in a series and it would help me like mark off the series. That is The Rebel Witch. I really want to read The Rebel Witch this month. I never talked about it honestly, but I read Heartless Hunter or The Crimson Moth, depending on where you're at. I read that in, oh god, October, I think. I only read like 2 books in October, so I think it was then, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't like my absolute favorite thing ever. I don't think it was like that groundbreaking, but I had such a fun time with it. It was so entertaining. Because that book is still pretty fresh on my mind, I do really want to get to it this month. That is my February reset. If you enjoyed it, you could go ahead and give it a thumbs up. There is a little button at the bottom of the screen that says hype for some people. They're still testing it out. If you have that hype button, you can go ahead and hype the video. All of my socials are linked down below if you want to follow my TikTok. Once again, the content is pretty similar to over here, but there is like, I would almost say a little bit more because I'm posting every day. If you are new here, I would love to have you stick around and subscribe, especially if you love productivity, wellness content, hobbies, a cozy, soft life. You can go ahead and subscribe. And with that, I will see you guys all in the next one. Okay, bye!